you hit a big pothole, pothole. Pothole is probably better than pothole. There's no pot in those potholes. I checked. What's up, everybody? Dennis Allen here. I guess it's just mid-video, so that was kind of over dramatic. I was just thinking it was the opening, but here we are. It's been another day. That's why I did that. I didn't fix the tire yesterday. I got the flat yesterday, or maybe even 3 days ago. But Teddy's been sitting here the whole time. As you can see, look at that. See, she's kind of low on air. So remember what I was saying a second ago, or a couple days ago, about not being, make sure that your spare is full because they leak. So I'm going to show you today how to plug the tire and fill it up with a Jeep. What? Yeah, stay tuned. Okay, so there's the culprit. See the hole? There was something, probably a bolt or something went in there, and then when I drove sideways, I popped it out, which was stupid, because I probably could have made it home. But then you wouldn't get a video. You see, this is why I do things, people. This is why I do things. Bad tire. So what am I going to put in there? How do you fix that? That's a hole. What am I going to tape it? Maybe a little electrical tape? That might work? No. This is what you do. You go into your Jeep. Well, let me show you what I mean. The Jeep is going to help very much so for fixing a tire in two ways, believe it or not. This Jeep, not all Jeeps, this Jeep. So if you notice, on a Jeep, I didn't need any latch to be unlatched in the vehicle. So say if I had the tire top on and the doors on, and there was some kind of emergency survival scenario, and you needed batteries, safe, you know, whatever. You needed to get inside a vehicle. You needed any parts, you know, or a battery. Most of the time you would need a battery. Probably the most useful, universal thing, because that'll work anything. You know, you could take that out. You could power your lights, you know, whatever. I have bigger batteries in the car, but I have boat batteries is hooked up to Teddy. So, the first thing you do is you take this kit. Look at that, a tire repair kit. Paid $8 for it. I keep this in the Jeep. I'll show you that in a second. The other thing of the Jeep that I want to show you is it has an air compressor system in it. Those are nozzles from an old air tank. And, well, this switch I don't need. Oh no, it's the switch. Yeah, I have to hook, this is the switch that I'm using. So I have to hook this switch over there. Anyway, let me, this is what I'm doing. So on an AC unit, you have the air compressor that's down there. And that compresses the Freon. And the Freon, when it gets from a high compression, this is the high compression side, going to a low compression side, there's a change in temperature. It causes it to get really cold. Then you, oh geez, am I explaining the whole AC thing for you? So the cold air goes into there and it blows, and there's all a bunch of other parts. But anyway, so I don't have AC now, needless to say. I cut the lines from the low side, the low pressure, the air going into the pump. I cut it out, reduced it with some hoses, put a oiler in there because there's oil in these airlines. It takes very little oil, and I tapped it right into the air box. So I'm taking filtered air through here, put a little bit of oil, just it misses very lightly, and the air goes in there, goes down into the pump. Just make sure your car is off when you do this, because if you did this, you would lose a lot of things. You'd probably lose everything below your wrist. See? I have mechanics gloves. It's not a real mechanic, it's a mechanics. Yeah, so the pressure. So air goes in there, gets compressed. Same principle as my windmill. So one reason I really want to do this is because I can learn air systems and see how they work, and this is helping me. So compressor, not driven by wind, but driven by a vehicle, and that's Daisy. So air comes out now pressurized, okay? It travels through there, it goes through that gauge, it goes through a, I forget what it's called. What it does is takes out, it's like an air filter, but for water. It is an air filter, and it filters water. Okay, so it's a filter fish. No, it's a air filter. It takes out water. So it takes out the water of the system because you don't want water in any of your lines. It'll get into your tools and whatever you're compressing. So the air comes through this hose to here. All right. And what this part is, this is literally from a junk. Actually, I'll show you the rest of it. This is the tank. All right. The motor actually works on this too. All that happened was one of the lines going from here to the motor broke, and it's at a place where, you know, they don't put a fitting so you can fix it. So I have to rig it. But so that's connected to that. So what happens here is this is the switch. It should say on. All right. Right now it's off. Nothing's gonna happen. I would turn that on, and this is gonna send an electric pulse to the car's computer saying, hey, turn the AC pump on, man. He wants air conditioning. And then we said, haha, we tricked you. We're not making air conditioning. Suckers, we're making air without conditioning it. So this triggers it. Air starts pumping up this line, all right? From this line, you would have, well, it's going to be to a tank, hopefully in a bumper, right? Eddie Santos. And when it hits a certain, I think it's like 95 or 120, somewhere around there, pounds, it shuts it off. Because now all this compressed air is saved in that tank, or in a bumper, or even in this line. I could have it right onto this line, and then just hook up power air tools to this. You see what I'm saying? I don't know why there's two. Oh, one's a regulator. Yeah, so this one comes with a regulator too. So I could adjust the air pressure leaving. This is a check valve. If there's too much system and say this doesn't work, this is a mechanical valve. This is electric because you need the electricity to turn it on and off. This is a mechanical valve. If you have too much pressure, this will pop and let the air out. So this is a fail-safe system. So yeah, that's how I'm going to fill the system. Make sure this is off, because, well, it doesn't matter because it's not plugged in. Yeah, it's a little rigged right now. This is just temporary. I'm not this bootleg. So let's open this. This is kind of like unboxing. This was purchased at the Grange Fair, one of those fairs. Look at that, I found it in the trash. Isn't that cool? I'm gonna probably hang that up over there. You see that thing I made? I'm very embarrassed of it. I was just playing like a day ago. See? It's gonna probably blow over in the wind. It's heavy, but not that heavy. I shouldn't have even put this in there because I'm embarrassed of it. But it's just a temporary thing. I was just playing yesterday. It was Sunday and I didn't want to do any work. So that's what I do when I'm not doing any work, is do a lot of work. But I started cleaning up. I mean, it's a lot cleaner. Remember in last videos, there's all kind of stuff over here and it's just a big jibber jabber. So it's getting better, people. I'm going to put this down because I can't take this off. Alright, here it is. Oh. And open it on live, previously recorded. Dun, 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 dun. So this is all you need. I was a little worried. It was like $8. Alright, so you have this, you have that. I don't know what that's for. What is that for? Oh, it's for these. Oh, that's nice of them. I think somebody that says someone's going to know how to plug a tire. They're going to probably have those little Allen keys. But wow, this is nice and heavy. I was expecting, you know, like a plastic handle and just, you know, maybe metal tip, but wow, this is good. See how heavy that is? So what you do, something's on my neck. Whew. All right, so what you do, first step, you take that and you it. Oh, that's a big hole. So what you do with this is, if that was a, let's redo this and pretend it's a small hole. So what you do is you take this and you put it in the hole, like the small nail hole that you got, and you want to get that hole bigger. Oh, you go like that. You see? All right, so that makes the hole bigger. So you can fit this thing in there. Let me show you how this works. You take this little squishy thing out. See how it's squishy? Squish it somewhere. I don't want to put them like here. That's gross. Take my glove off. It's like a needle. See, women could do this because it's like sewing. And so if you want to be sexist, you could say, well, women know how to sew, they could do this. So, come on, ladies, get out there, fix your own cars. Don't rely on men. That's what you do. So now what do you do? You put this on here. Some people put a lubricant on there or something, but I'm old school. You push that in there like this. You see it? You see it? Watching it? Ooh. They say to twist. I don't know if that's true. Twist. I don't know if I ever twist. And then you're supposed to just pull it out. You see that? And it's, so that plug is stuck in there. And this sealant is a sealant. And that's it. All I'm going to do is cut those off now. And then we get to try that out. Yeah, very nice. So if you didn't have the Jeep, just real quick, if you didn't have the Jeep, you would just take that tire to the mechanic shop, or, you know, they make cheap, I don't know, I'll put a link below for, I guess a good, I'll do some research on a good one that you could plug right into the car later. But you could probably get them for 30 bucks. But I'm doing it that way. This way I have a much better one. Hey Eddie, look, next time you fix my car, that's the thing for you. We got those in, I can't really say where we got those, but they're stainless steel. Eddie's gonna put them on his Jeep. See my Jeep? You think my Jeep's kind of cool? Eddie's Jeep is something that I guess the military would use to go off-roading. But it's very nice. All right, I gotta cut that off. I'm gonna try to fill up the air and tires. That's gonna be a challenge. So let's see when this video continues. Snip. Ta-da! Oh, if you don't have these, if you're stuck on the road and you're doing this by yourself, you don't have these, you could actually leave those on. I've left them on before. It's alright, it's not the big deal. Probably best to take it off, but if it's going to get you home, where you're going to have more tools, a knife or something to cut it off, just leave it on. So here's something. So, I don't know if I ever told you guys, I worked in, oh, I did tell you guys, but I worked in, as a mechanic. And before that, I worked in actually in junkyards and then a chop shop. But this is my toolbox from, I don't know, maybe my first toolbox? I don't know. It could have been. I think it is. This is my first toolbox. Blue Point, Snap-on, same stuff. This is the cheaper line of Snap-on tools. I'm a big fan of Snap-on tools. I like buying good stuff. This is something I picked up and on a Newark police car. It was a target team. They were the cops that were chasing all the car thieves around, and they were kind of like cowboys. Nothing in this box is worth your life. And he had that on the side of his police car, but it said nothing in his car is worth your life. Yeah. So this was empty. I can't believe it was empty. I guess just in the move. So what I'm gonna do, since my new thing right now is air compression, so I'm going to use this as my air compression tank. All my air parts, fittings, and specialized tools will be going in here. So that's pretty exciting. This is a pretty exciting day from working in chop shops. This box is actually before the chop shops. This was, man, this is probably my first, no, it couldn't be. Well, my first toolbox was not. Actually, it probably was when I started working at a junkyard, because I didn't really have toolboxes. I used my mother's, I think. I don't know. I wasn't living with my mother. Anyway, the master, that's a whole nother story. So let's try to get this thing working. I need to, oh, it's going to be on the other side. I need to do a couple last minute things to get this actually to fill air in the tire. So stay tuned. Do you like the commercials the other day in the other movies? So stay tuned after these commercial messages.
You know, if you were to follow a busy doctor as he makes his daily round of calls, you'd find yourself having a mighty busy time keeping up with him. Time out for many men of medicine usually means just long enough to enjoy a cigarette. And because they know, doctors in all parts of the country were asked, "What cigarette do you smoke, doctor?" Once again, the brand named most was
Satan.
Yes, according to this repeated nationwide survey, more doctors smoke
Satan.
than any other cigarette. See how
Satan.
agree with your throat. See how mild and good tasting
Satan.
can be.
Okay, so I hooked up the wire. Again, this is not a how-to show. That's just temporary. That'll get probably soldered and sealed later. Got this on off. Power's not on, so that's a dead wire. Through the regulator, put a little hose right down to the valve. So if you had this tire and you went to, your local air station, at the gas station or whatever, and you got, the air pump thing, you would have this piece. Like this would be the hose off the thing. And then so all you would do is put this, see, it's like a male female kind of thing. That's not a fresh thing, it's really what the fitting's called. Alright, so I'm going to turn the vehicle on and see if this works. Vehicle is on. I'm going to flick the switch, see if anything happens. This is the first time trying this.
Come on, big money, big money, big money, no whammy, stop!
And it doesn't work. Alright, let's try this again. I forgot it wasn't grounded. The other switch was a little different. And nothing. I know I could do this. Oh, that's not working either now. Alright, I'm totally confused now. Okay, so it does work. I don't know why it didn't work the first time I touched it, but if I just hold this, this is not a positive, this is a ground wire. If I hold it there, it does kick on. So I gotta somehow do these both at the same time. So this switch, I don't know if I have it hooked up wrong. But I have another switch too, so. But I'm just gonna get this working. So ignore this whole scenario on how to fill your tire. But it is working. Woohoo! So it worked. So let me show you how to fill air in your tire. What you're gonna do, pretend this is on, you're gonna put this in there, and it's usually, get it to, it's not squishy on the side, but put less than more, that's for sure. You want less than more air, because what you're gonna have to do next is, a lot of the pumps will have automatic shutoffs, but if you don't, get yourself a good tire gauge. It is good to have a tire gauge anyway. For just always make sure you have the right amount of air in your tires, you want to be safe when you're driving down the roads, can you dig it? So sorry, I had my lighting people change the lighting. So you just put this gauge on there and this little thing will come out, and then you want to find on your tires will tell you how many pounds. I'm looking for about 35, somewhere on there, so that's about good for me there. Then, so if you put a little bit of air in, check it, see how much pressure is there, put a little bit more air in, but I did that off camera. because I had to hold the wire to the ground, because this is not the right way to do it. Alright, so you come back, you have a full tire, let's put it back on. Alright, I flipped the van around. I mean, I had the lighting guys relight this area. So I'm going to do this instead of using any other kind of lift. That would be easier. I'm going to use this just to show y'all again. Oh, there's mats there now. Alright. So, say if you're on grass, I mean I did this on grass the other day. But if it's not working, if it's sinking into the ground, just put a piece of wood under there. Maybe, I don't know where you get wood from, but you just want to get a better base. So see where that's clipping on? Just fits in there like a glove. See that? Right in there, yo. Alright. You do it with your hand until you can't. Then you get this thing again. Gatorade. Oh, I was going to sing a song, but I don't want to sing a song. Alright, so you get this, right? Tighty, righty. Alright. I'm going to lift up. Oh! Yeah, thank you. I hear the comments. You have to loosen these first, remember? If not, you know, you just want to break them. Cállate! You know? Hard to do with my left hand. But I'm doing it. I gotta tell the prop department to pre-loosen these for me so I seem strong. Kaito! Karate! Hiya! Yeah! Kaito Karate. Kaito is my buddy from Tanzania. He married my friend. Oh, that one. You could always do it with the foot. See that? That works too. So if you're out on the road, you know, use your foot, your head, whatever you gotta use. Alright, let me crank this up now. Oh, make sure the emergency brake's on. You hear? Alright, so I jacked it up and you could tell it's off the ground now. You could spin it a little. The tire should be the same size as the original, but if not, when you put the new tire on, you may have to jack up the car a little. So, once you got it off the ground, the vehicle is definitely going to be in park too. So these are all hand loose now. You don't want to loosen them so much. See how one or two of them were still snug? That's what you want to do. Because, I mean, it will allow you to take it off. And if you keep taking it off while the tire is down, the tire will pop off, hit you in the face, and probably break your jaw. So, that's a no-no. Do it the right way, folks. That's why you should watch somebody. I mean, I could probably say this is a how-to video, how to change a tire. I think I got that coverage, that skill covered. I was a auto mechanic for a very long time. Probably can't tell by the work I do on my own Jeep, but this one's not. I must have some geekity gook in there. Usually you could spin them out the whole way by hand. Yeah, that one had a little shaving in there or something. Alright, all of them are out. Pop the tire off. Check your brakes. Dennis, you need to do brakes. Not today. This will be another video. Where'd the tire go? There it is. I'm good at moving tires with one hand. It's a skill I learned. So yeah, this tire is definitely not. See how much I have to go up? This lug has to go here, so I gotta jack up the car more. Please stay tuned. You see me? I guess so. Alright, so I jacked up the tire. be very careful, especially if you're on the side of the road. This car has a very, very good chance of falling over, especially being on uncertain ground. Even with the parking brake, it could still roll. A truck could come by and blow the car, and yeah, be very careful. So, line it up, taking the nuts. Screwy, 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 screwy back on. Make sure there's no junk in there. You know, a little rock could fall in there. That's maybe what happened with the last one. Something fell in there, a piece of dirt, anything. You know, these nuts were flying all over the side of the ROAD. Oh, I messed up. I forgot the hubcap. Some cars come with these cheap metal rims, and then they have hubcaps. Oy. This Honda is the cheap model, so I got the one without the fancy rims. But on a Honda, the hubcap is held on by the lug nuts. There's just a little plastic washer that holds on there. So, some cars, the hubcap snaps on top of the rim, but those get messed up because you hit a big pothole. Pothole is probably better than pothole. There's no pot in those potholes. I checked. Potholes don't have any pots in it. So, yeah. Anyway, your car is gonna have what it does. Don't buy hubcaps. It's just a waste. Extra plastic so you don't see the black rim. Whatever, folks. Crazy. A lot of times too, say if they're not that loose where you could just walk them through with your hands, you could put this on there and just spin it like that. Just be careful, kind of like hold it, because it could fly off and it'll hit you in the face, or it'll hit a passerby. So just give it a little snug, not too much, because remember, you can pop this off of the lift. See, if you wiggle it, it'll come looser. See? That one's snugged. Snug. That's all you want to do. Just snug it up, just so the rim doesn't tilt when you put the car down. You know, because if they were loose when you put the car down, your tire could tilt. It could come off canter, and you won't even be able to tighten it. It has to be firmly on the rim. You see? So that's good. Let's lower it. Dracula, Dracula. So what you want to do is do the lefty-loosey. The lefty-loosey dance. But I could see that this jack is leaning a little to the back, so it's the ground that I'm working on is not that level. Kind of like my head. And the sweat coming from my head. Dracula, Dracula. I was listening to the Gorillas. You guys know the Gorillas? Very good band. Or collab, whatever they are. I don't know what they are. I guess they're a band. So, bring this all the way back down. And then put in whatever thing that it comes with. Maybe something like that. This, I want to tie your nose up again. This goes in here somewhere. That looks a little, I don't know, it might be right. So, yeah. So, that's it. Tied them up. I'm going to take it to, not to gas. Yeah, I guess. No, I don't know. I'm just going to double check the air pressure. having the tire off the car or with all the weight of the car on it does not affect the pressure of the tire, which it sounds like it would, but I mean, you're only looking at 35 pounds of pressure when you check your tires, so it's not like there's 1,000 pounds of pressure holding the whole car. But somehow 35 in each tire will hold up a whole car. Alright, these are all nice and snug. Like a bug in a rug. So that's how you change your tire when you get stuck on the side of the road. Woo. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Please tell your friends and all that jibber jabber. Oh, put the cap on there too. Some people are like, oh, you don't need the cap. Put the cap on, a little piece of rock could get in there and let air out of your tire. So, alright guys, thank you for watching. Dennis Allen out.